Diffusion of Innovation in ESL Instruction and Programs. This is by Alison, Lisa, and Nancy. What is diffusion of innovation, also known as DOI? Innovation is an idea, practice, or an object perceived as new by an individual or other unit of adoption. Diffusion is the process by which innovation is communicated through certain channels over time among the members of social system. Now, the DOI theory was established by Rogers in 1962, which was one of the oldest social science theories. Technology adapter groups. This basically talks about the idea of an adapter of groups, which is also as the bell curve. Innovators tend to be experimentalists and interested in technology itself. Early adapters may be technology sophisticated and interested in technology for solving professional and academic problems. Another point is that early majority might be pragmatist and constitute the first part of the mainstream. Another point would be that the late majority are less comfortable with technology and are skeptical second half of the mainstream. And lastly, the laggards may never adopt technology and may be antagonists and critical of its use by others. Okay. Our case study was in a small setting, basically a small rural school in Texas. It basically targeted K through 12 public school and ESL programs. Investigating how the theory and process of diffusion innovation applies in the setting with this population. What are the characteristics and needs of the ESL population? What instructional method and technologies are they currently using? Some key factors that play into whether technology is adopted. Some key players in acceptance of rejection of innovations. Are these significant and equal resources in the setting or program? And what alternatives and solutions to address the problems? ESL program. An ESL program is considered English as a second language. Also, in today's school setting, it's also known as ELL, as English Language Learners. This basically is an instructional program for students who their first primary language is not English. It's actually English is their second language. ESL classes focus on grammar, writing, speaking, and reading for English. Students of ESL are classified as anyone whose native language is any other than English. The diffusion of innovation process in study. Okay, our demographics focus that a small rural school district in an area, our region is the area region is 4. The population in there's approximately 195 students, and about 20 to 25 students are ESL. 25 to 30% are ESL. In the school setting that Alison teaches is basically, it's broken down to the state is broken down to the region is broken down into the school is broken into the administrators coach and basically talk to the teachers and communicate what needs to be done. And the teachers basically teach the students. And this is basically an example of diffusion. It goes from region to school, administrators, teachers, and to students. One of the positives of the diffusion of innovation is using Google Translate in Chromebooks, but it's only at the high school level where Alison teaches. A downfall from that would be they have no, they're not able to download any application to the computer because it can damage a computer. For instance, if you're downloading too many different downloads, this can really damage and hurt the computer, and you can possibly lose all the information. The Google App Translate. This is very popular in Alison's school setting. However, the Translate app can repeat anything you say up to 90 languages, from German and Japanese to Czech. This is very popular in Alison's school setting. She does use this with ESL parents as a warm-up for them to practice and hear the English language. What are people saying? With this app, it's basically confident for them. They can use this application to, maybe if they go to another state or they go to another country, with learning this, they can hear the language in their area of language. 2. Some problems that are faced in applying technology and new teachings material in the classroom are due to maybe possibly small district issues, the lack of leadership of innovation, administrators and teachers not open-minded, they're conservatives and laggards, skeptics on the bell curve system spectrum, limited finances and funding. If a school is a small school district, maybe it could be a possibility they are limited on funds. The lack of resources for training and implementing those. Again, that goes back to financing. Alternatives and solutions. Maybe there might be a training or support teachers can use to learn about their technology. Purchase learning software or search for some free access source to teaching and learning. Then it also goes back to doing downloads. The school would have to approve of the download. Fundraising from outside sources, maybe by local business and or education grants that possibly an administrator could write to get free money. In our conclusion, leadership plays an important role in diffusion and innovation. The case study helps us to have a better understanding of what obstacles can happen and question how we can go about them. Here are our references. And thank you for watching our PowerPoint over diffusion of innovation.